Act 4. Yet more trouble brews. Under the thunderous skies on the heath, Macbeth found the three witches hunched over their cauldron. They were busy mixing their spells when he appeared. "He is here," the first witch announced as Macbeth staggered towards them. "I need to know what's going to happen next," Macbeth cried. "You have to help me." The witches cackled. "We will summon our magic for you," the first witch said, throwing some pig's blood into the cauldron. The witches started mumbling an incantation. "Show us! Show us! Show us!" they all shrieked at the bubbling potion. There was an explosion of smoke, and out of its curling wisps appeared a ghostly head. "Macbeth! Macbeth! Be aware of Macduff!" it said. Macbeth gasped. So it was true. Macduff wanted to get rid of him. With a loud roar, flames shot from the cauldron. As sparks rained down, the bloodied ghost of a child appeared before Macbeth and spoke. "None of women born shall harm Macbeth," it said, and disappeared. "So I don't need to fear Macduff after all," Macbeth said. He couldn't think why Macduff's mother would not have given birth to him. But before he could make sense of the message, there was a flash of light and another ghostly child appeared. "Macbeth shall never be vanquished until the great Birnam wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him." Macbeth wept with relief as the last vision faded from view. "So I am safe," he sobbed. "How can woods move and fight me?" Looking up, he saw a dreadful sight. "But what's this? Help!" From all directions, a ghostly army came towards. There were 9 men, all bearing crowns of Scotland. And amongst the phantoms, Macbeth spotted Banquo. Macbeth's blood ran cold. "Help me!" he groaned, turning back to the witches. He heard only a faint cackle. The witches had vanished. Whirling around to face the ghost, he saw that they too had disappeared. "Sure?" Macbeth jumped. It was Lennox. "Did you see those witches? That army of ghosts?" Macbeth asked. "No, sir." Lennox shook his head, increasingly worried about Macbeth's sanity. "But I bring news of Macduff. He has fled to England. The pair walked back across the heath in silence. Macbeth was deep in thought. If only he had killed Macduff earlier, he cursed himself for having hesitated when he had the perfect chance. Back at the palace, Macbeth ordered to murder Lady Macduff and her son immediately. In England, Duncan's son Malcolm was unaware that yet more murders had taken place in Scotland. He met with Macduff to test his allegiance. Was he loyal to Scotland or did he support Macbeth? "I don't trust Macbeth," Malcolm said. "But I am too weak to be king myself. I am easily led astray." "That's not true, Malcolm," Macduff said. "You would make an excellent king for Scotland. You are brave and committed." "Yes, but I am not sure you are," Malcolm went on. "After all, you have abandoned your wife and child." "I had no choice," Macduff said. "I had to flee Scotland to get help. And here I am, Malcolm. I am promising you my support." Malcolm looked at his comrade. Could he trust him? Could he trust anyone anymore? But his thoughts were interrupted by a noise outside. The door burst open. It was Ross. "Macduff!" he gasped. "I have found you, my lord. I'm so sorry, but I bring you terrible news about your family." Macduff screamed in despair when he heard that his entire family had been killed. His grief turned to fury when Ross told him it had been at Macbeth's command. "My revenge is to fight Macbeth," he exclaimed. "Then we are ready to go to battle," Malcolm said. "Macbeth must be destroyed, just like he has tried to destroy Scotland."